Saturday. What did you think about it?
I thought it was really good. I thought the energy was good. I thought some of the young guys, like I said, stepped up that I mentioned on Saturday, and hopefully they continue to step up. But I thought it was a really, really good work day.
Did that advance what you were hoping with some of the competitiveness and fire of the young?
It did. I think when they're out there by themselves and the older guys are just there to, be there and coach them up, I think it definitely showed up that, this is my time to play ball. And I think it did show up.
These plays that AJ is making, like the one he had there at the end, make you play them?
Yeah, 100%. AJ's a guy who's flashed all camp. But that was a great play made there at the end. Good catch. But there's more than just that. It's more of the mentality and the toughness that we trust that when you're on the field, if you made a mistake, people would be okay with it. Like, do you earn the right of your fellow teammates by how you prepare, how you work, your toughness, that if you don't get it done, you know what, they're going to have your back. Not, why is that guy in the game? And I think when you're young, you've got to earn the trust and earn the respect to the guys. And that's not just making the flashy plays. It's doing the dirty, hard work. And that's really what I was looking for, really, this whole campus. Who's going to do the dirty work that when a guy's next to you in the game and you may be a young buck, that veteran's going to say, man, like, I'm good. Like, this guy's putting the work. I trust this guy.
How's Malik McLean progressed?
He's had a nice camp, obviously, from last year where he, showed up post spring ball. This is his first spring here. I think he's definitely more comfortable in the system, so I think he's making some nice plays.
How important is that for him and others to step up?
Huge. We need a number two. We need a second option. I mean, there's no secret. JT is our number one option. We need somebody else to step up and say, if you're going to double team JT, somebody's got to be able to run an option route. Somebody's got to be able to take the top off of a defense. If JT is in the slot in two high structures or in single high structures and they're trying to bracket him, like, you've got to have somebody else that if teams bracket JT, they go, dang, what about this guy? And, you can have two guys that are good as well, but having one dude that we can formation to do that is really what you're looking for.
Coach, what about the growth and experience of the secondary we've seen so far this spring?
Yeah, not many busts by the veterans. The younger bucks are busting, but the veterans are, they show up, they go to work. Even today, like in the team period, good old X with one hand right now is still practicing because he wants to practice, and he goes and breaks up a cross route on fourth down, one-on-one, breaks it up with his good hand. It's like, shows up. When the games are on the line, when it's real football, certain guys show up. And those same guys that show up in practice, the same guys who show up in the games.
What are your thoughts on a guy like Ben kind of taking advantage of this new NIL space and hosting his own show tonight at Pedal House?
Oh, it's awesome. I mean, I think everybody should go out there. Ben's one of the funniest guys on our team. He's funny, he's personable, he's got great energy. Like, that should be something that the city, the community rallies behind. On Mondays you're going to go watch Ben stand up there, crack a few jokes, tell a few secrets about the program, and, maybe have a drink, maybe, eat some food, have a good time.
With the spring portal opening this week, what are your expectations and hopes for it, whether it be guys going in or out?
Yeah, I'm not really worried, to be honest about it. I mean, yeah, if somebody wants to leave, like, we'll help them. We'll help them find a spot. If nobody wants to leave, great. If the biggest thing for me is the house case, and what the roster limits are and what that looks like. I think that, for me, is a bigger deal than, like, I'm worried about our own guys leaving. And because if they want to leave, I want them to leave, right? And like I said, this isn't a hostage situation here. That's why we let you guys out of practice. That's why we post tape. That's why people write articles on who's doing well and who's doing bad, because I don't care. I would truly want people who want to be here. I think there's enough good players who, would want to be here that I'm not, I guess, insecure about the situation we have here. But that house case and some of the guys, the roster, number is definitely something that I hope gets resolved soon enough to where we can give these guys good advice, not just at our school, but across the country.
They're talking about maybe phasing in where they still have some walk-ons. Would you prefer that, or?
100%. 100%. I mean, having to tell a kid that, you're not on the team because other people have decided that you can't come here for free, that's not fun. That's not like the ideal situation, or the most fun thing I'll have to do this year is that. So hopefully they do phase in those guys just so they have, the ability to play college football and to be a part of the team and to be a part of a community. But if they don't, then, tough conversations have to happen, and that's unfortunate.
Is there anywhere that you feel like you would like to supplement your roster in the portal?
I mean, there's no big need. I mean, obviously, you always want more snappers, just veteran guys who can snap the ball. You know, it's just a position that, you know, if something were to happen at some spot and you run out of them, you're in trouble. So you're always looking for a veteran that's snapped, or a young guy that's snapped in high school, anything like that. Then is there a dynamic player that changes the game, regardless of position? If somebody changes the game for us and we feel like he fits our culture, then we'll bring him in. But there's not like a specific. I think we have a pretty. You know, the whole goal was to get our team in place by right now so we can build culture and community. And I think for the most part we have that. Maybe we add a few pieces, yes. I think it's completely, you know, dictating the house case combined with the who actually enters the portal and their fit here.
Guys good?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Fire away.
Can you talk about the connection between you and Jaron Hamilton and how that's developed this spring?
Yeah, you know, he's starting to do a few more reps with me, and you know, we caught a big ball for me and a crosser, and you know, I had some good plays in the scrimmage, which is good to see. You know, so just dialing it in with these guys and continuing to work. But he's stepping up.
What are you seeing from Malik McClain, given that he wasn't here last spring and understands the offense a lot more now?
Yeah, he understands he has a bigger role now. You know, we need him to go win one-on-one situations, and you know, it's just me and him getting on the same page. So we're working through some growing pains right now and just getting better every single day.
Kenny was just talking to us about how outside of Jordan Tyson, he wants to have someone where if a defense tries to double JT, there's someone that they have to worry about on the outside. Who do you envision stepping into?
I don't know. We're gonna see. You know, there's a bunch of guys that we got, and you know, we got to just see them continue to progress. But you know, guys got to start making plays, one-on-one scenarios.
Have you kind of just focused most on yourself and self-improvement this spring?
I mean, just practice. You know, like early on, it was my pocket presence. You know, I was stepping up too much in the pocket, getting my check downs on 3-level stretches, understanding. You know, me and Dilly were just talking about it yesterday. How different plays, you know, even though people are getting to the same spots, they're coming from different places, and I got to view it the same read, and just go about my process the same on those plays. So I'm categorizing those and understanding just, you know, my thought process going into the play got to be the same.
How is the defense different from last year as far as what looks are thrown at you?
Yeah, I'm not going to go into, you know, all the stuff our defense is doing, but they're showing a not, you know, different fronts and simulate pressures like they do really well and stuff like that. So, you know, we're seeing everything, and it's really good for me in the offense to work through.
How are guys responding to just your leadership and the intensity that you bring and correcting things when it needs to be?
I think it's good. You know, I kind of tried to tailor off it from the start of spring ball just because we haven't played ball in so long and people are still getting their feet wet. But now I'm really starting to get on people's heads more, and you know, we got to really start clicking. And I got to demand more out of myself and more out of them. But they're taking it really well, and people are starting to step up when I bring some juice, which is what we need to see.
How are you handling the pressure of, you know, being a ranked top quarterback in a top team this season?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's any different than any other season. You know, you still go about practice exact same, and still the same goal for me every time. You know, just get better day by day and not focus on, you know, what the media is saying. You know, with the progression, you know, what people are assuming that we're going to do this season and everything like that. So just taking it day by day, getting better, bringing our guys with us. You know, we got some new guys, so it's just figuring out who's going to step up.
How's the dynamic with you and Ben developed over the spring?
Oh, it's been really good. You know, he was struggling early on, but he's doing a lot better now, you know, so I'm really proud of him putting in that work. You know, he's a grinder, super smart guy, and then just talking to him in the line and having them hear my voice again, and, you know, so we're not having any false starts or anything, and, you know, the ones are doing a way better job of that now.
How would you say Coach Royal is kind of challenging you to take that next step and continue to elevate yourself?
Just the stuff that he's given me on my plate for handling the entire offense. You know, I got to make every single play go. If guys aren't lined up, it's on me. You know, I got to be the most mentally, physically, and emotionally tough player on the field. And he said even in the building, you know, so that's my goal is I got to beat whoever out in terms of that, and then just bring it every single day. You know, he's bringing the juice like always, and in the meetings demanding a lot out of us. So, you know, he's doing a great job, and I'm just trying to prove him right.
Over 2/3 of the way through spring now, is there a specific offensive position group that you've seen the most growth from so far?
I'd say the wideouts, just because, you know, it's new coming in. You know, they didn't know any of the plays or my timing with them, so that's always going to be the biggest improvement when you have new guys at that position. Running backs are doing a great job too. The O-line, we got some new returners and some new guys who are stepping up. So I'd say the whole team is a collective. Offensively, defense, they have a lot of guys coming back, but really proud of the receivers so far.
Guys good?
Thanks for your time.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.